welcome back to my channel. It is of course Chelsea of She Designs Things. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my health updates, the launch of Poppy+Lily, my return to YouTube, and of course the courses that I've been working on forever. So grab a coffee, sit down. It shouldn't be too long, but at least enjoy yourself while you listen to me rant, rave, and complain. So in December of 2023, I received a brain stent for idiopathic intracranial hypertension. When I got my stent, basically right after, I was fine. It wasn't until middle of March where I started to have a little bit of, I want to say, additional unrelated symptoms. So I started to get really tired all the time and nauseous almost 24/7. And that continued through June when I stopped taking the aspirin. So in March, I actually ended taking the, it's called Plavix, which is a blood thinner. And then because when you get a brain stent, you gotta take blood thinner for 3 months, and then you gotta take aspirin for 6 months. It varies by patient, but generally speaking, that's the rule, unless it's for the heart, and then that's 6 months of blood thinner. Now, my stent is a brain stent, of course, so it was placed, and I have started to experience so many additional symptoms that I now have an extensive care team, which not only features my original neurologist, neuro-ophthalmologist, I now have an endocrinologist and a cardiologist. That is because I deal with a lot of orthostatic hypertension, which is when your blood pressure raises and it drops depending on your position, and a crap ton of additional endocrine related symptoms, but a lot of the symptoms in the endocrine system also affect the cardiovascular system. And so I've had to deal with a lot more issues related to my heart, such as chronic fatigue that has nothing to do with my hormones, as well as, becoming allergic to things I was not allergic to, such as cats. And I have a cat, and she's saying, and a lot of my illness is similar to mast cell activation syndrome, or some people think POTS, or just a whole bunch of endocrine related issues. But the more we dive into my health with my health professionals, the more it seems like something is off. So I am sick 24/7. Let me state that I am chronically nauseous, and the only thing that's been helping is having like Bo9, which is what you'd use on a boat. I have 3 antacids. I also have a gastroenterologist now. It's so strange. And I've taken various medications, which definitely all affect the body. So I deal with a lot of unnecessary swelling throughout the body. So because of steroids, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm wearing a fat suit. But it is just a part of the process, so they say. So hopefully I am getting closer. I just finished, this month I had, last month in December before the holidays, I received my Holter monitor right before Christmas. And so I had to wear a Holter monitor for 3 days. A Holter monitor, if you're unfamiliar, is strapped to your chest for the entire 3 days. And then the information is being transmitted to your physician. And then I had a transthoracic echocardiogram, which is basically a sonogram of the heart. And then later this month, I'll have a stress test, which I look so forward to. Not really. So lots of testing from my cardiologist this month. And then I have my usual blood panels from my endocrinologist. So I have to take my blood panels right now it's like once every 3 months. Um, but it's been more frequent, and you can kind of see a decline in health wise, and they have no idea where it's starting from. It almost appears like um, unregulated diabetes on one side, and then like nothing else, cardiovascular issues, and it's just a lot. So that is why I haven't really made a ton of videos. It's because I've been really sick a good portion of the days since being post-op from my brain stent. And as I told one of my doctors, I was like, if the veins in my brain are narrow and you just widened one of them to allow the blood to flow through the deoxygenated blood or whatever from the brain down through the heart, one would think like the heart would be narrow too. No, but it's not. I do have an elevated stroke risk, so I do try to limit my stress and stressors because it's okay. It's a lot, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's a lot, so hopefully I can get it all squared away, so that I can continue creating and just get back to my life, because it sucks. I'm 33, and I would like to feel whatever 33 feels like instead of me having more in common with senior citizens. Like, a lot. So I've wanted to finish out my courses that I've created for almost 2 years now. I found the platform that I wanted to use. I bought that platform. I made sure it was a lifetime subscription one, which hindsight's 2020. And I've been working very, 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 very slowly on it, just due to my various undiagnosed health problem. And so I appreciate all of you who really want to get into the courses. You want to understand how to make your Google site look better. Not only that, you want to know how to sell Google site templates and how to, optimize them for SEO, because Google sites, a website is only one part of your SEO. And people say that, and then they make it really complicated and convoluted. And I find that a lot of people who watch my videos don't just watch them for the Google sites. They watch them for the fact that I take something that can be a complicated subject and I can dull it down. I don't want to say dumb it down, because you're not dumb because you don't understand something. It's just foreign to you. It's like learning a new language, and you have to start with the basics. And the way my approach to teaching is simply find something that correlates. And so a lot of times when I am working on a new project or a new, piece for Poppy+Lily, I think about what correlates with it so that I'm able to understand the task faster. And I do. And so I just want to say that I appreciate all of you for patiently waiting. I want to get back to finishing out those courses. It is taking me a really long time. And, I don't get paid for YouTube, so it's harder for me to sit down and create these videos for you. And I have to create the videos for the courses as well. And then I have to edit them and all that stuff. And I am one person, and no one around me in my small, minuscule circle has a skill set or the time to do what I do. And so, I rely on myself for 100%. I'm gonna be honest, 100% of everything that comes out of my creation of my brand. She Designs Things, and Poppy+Lily, and the Bouquet Lens, which is my photography company. So it's a lot for one individual, but I get through it. And I just thank you all for being really, really patient with me. And, for watching my videos and for sharing it, because again, I don't get paid for YouTube, so I really have to work hard. And when you share my content, it helps, with a little bit of coinage that comes from YouTube. And I'm really grateful for every dime I get these days. So I really look forward to getting back to making YouTube content. It is something that I enjoy doing, especially when I don't have to sit in front of the camera. Like, it's way easier to record faceless content than it is to sit in front of the camera, because you're always going to be self-critiquing. And so I miss just being behind the scenes doing things versus being on the forefront. That being said, I just can't wait to get back to engaging with all of you, whether you're a small business owner or a student or just someone who's bored, someone who doesn't have the time to create your own website, someone who, I don't know, just wants to learn a new skill. Whatever your reasoning, I look forward to getting back to working to create content that's engaging and meaningful to you. Which brings me to my final piece, and that is the launch of my heritage brand, Poppy+Lily. So I lost my good lighting, but anyways, getting into it, finally, let's talk about my heritage brand, which pays tribute to my older sister, Sierra, who passed away in 2022. And so I created this brand, Poppy+Lily, not only as a way to pay tribute to her, but as a way to give back, as a way to help focus and center myself and people who end up in a similar situation. So I'm gonna give you an example. This is one of the products, a part of Poppy+Lily brand. We can see here, yes. On the side, you'll read the brand story, which talks about who we are, all the ingredients, all the little products that I made, all of the boxes, all the formulations I made myself. And I actually have TikTok videos that give tutorials on how to make these full color boxes if you are interested. So just make sure you go ahead and head on over to TikTok and watch those videos from She Designs Things. Now, this wasn't originally my purpose. I wasn't originally going to create physical products like this. I did want it to be mostly intention setting practices. But as I expanded, I wanted to be more of intentional living. And not only that, I find that if you have a focus, if you do things with intention in life, you are less susceptible to being manipulated into doing things that you don't want to do, because you're not careless. You're not just, oh, I'm just gonna do it. And so I've had to do a lot of that self-reflection and sitting back this entire year while working on this, because I did not know what I wanted the brand to be like. And so in doing so, I had to study cosmetic formulations, and then I had to study more psychology, because there would become more it was a lot. And so I ended up making a face care line as well. And this is a completely vegan face care line. I don't deal with any skincare issues. And when I made the skincare line, it was not just studying the cosmetic formulations, but the why behind it, the why you would use this ingredient. Again, totally on brand for Poppy+Lily, but ultimately it comes down to a few things, which is my aesthetic journals and my affirmation cards. And I know everyone and their mom has an affirmation card. I wanted to make mine a little bit more than just words on a page. So I came up with On the Bright Side. And here is one of the boxes that I cut out with my Cricut while I was playing around with what I wanted it to look like. On the Bright Side, and this one is Love and Relationships, has on the front side of it your negative affirmation, and then on the back side of it, the positive affirmation and the activity to achieve, what you would do to achieve that positive affirmation. And so this one being love, romance, and relationships says, I avoid intimacy like it's a contagious disease. And so that, I wanted to have a little bit of humor to it, but that is also why it's like, This is the thing you tell yourself, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely is. All right, I avoid intimacy. So if that's something that you do, what's a positive affirmation you can tell yourself? So on the back of it, I am opening myself up to deep, meaningful connections, like a book waiting to be read. And then how do you achieve that affirmation? It's one thing to convert the negative into a positive, but if you don't know how to do it, then it's useless. So the activity is to explore your comfort levels and boundaries around intimacy through self-reflection and communication with your partner. Practice vulnerability and emotional openness in safe, supportive environments. One of the things that I always tell people is to write it down or to use a voice memo. You want to get your thoughts out, but you need to do it in an appropriate way. That's a great way to help you center yourself. And again, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, psychologist. I'm none of those things. I just read a lot, and I do work with a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists to create my brand, Poppy+Lily, which is, again, based around just intentional living. And I wanted to avoid the pitfalls that a lot of intentional living brands fall into. And a lot of those manifestation brands fall into, they get on my nerves. I'm sorry. And that is interfering with practices that align with religious beliefs. You don't have to do that. So I wanted, again, it to be something that was for everyone and not make it feel like, oh, if I'm doing this, I'm practicing witchcraft, or I'm becoming like a Christian, or I'm acting like a Muslim, or I'm doing like it. It doesn't have to be that way. There's psychology behind it. There's a reason behind it that is just baseline, non-religious purposes. And that is the whole point of creating my intentional living brand, is so that you can explore what that means without feeling like a fraud, somebody who's just placing crystals around your house with no purpose. Because half of the time, I can guarantee you, if you're like, my manifestations aren't working, it's because it sounds like a whole bunch of hoopla to you. Someone hasn't converted it into a way that makes sense to you and for you. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. All right, so I want to just say thank you all so much for your patience with me. It's been a long and trying year. I look forward to the day that I'm able to sit at my computer or just exist my life without 8 or 9 prescriptions. I really do. I really look forward to engaging with all of you and, to sharing life experiences with you, to teaching. So I want to say thank you to all of those of you who watch my videos, who comment, who share it, who've been with me on my day ones. I see you. And I just really am humbled by this entire experience in life. Like, just remember, take every single day like it's your last day. That doesn't mean go crazy, but just make it count. Make it count for something. Just make someone else happy, make yourself happy. Just do the right thing in life. And, if you've been through any challenges throughout this year, which I know a lot of us have been through challenges, just feel free to comment it down below. I'd love to read your story and get to know you, the person who is commenting below. So thanks again so much for your support and for watching. And don't forget to look in the description for the freebie design. And if you'd like to purchase any of the products for Poppy+Lily, remember 10% of the proceeds from Poppy+Lily go to support initiatives for kids who lose their parents due to drug, alcohol dependency, or mental health issues. And again, thanks so much for watching, and see ya.